I don't really have to type that, do I? I don't really have to type that, do I? All right, there we go. Well, if you haven't heard, I got myself... I'm just going to say it after the music. I don't know how loud that is for you. But I wanted to say that, yeah, I'm dealing with a new broadband, and so I have everything all ready to go, and maybe this is actually going to work. This is the picture that I was really trying to show everybody. And it's right here on Google Earth. So I'm on top of it. I've got everything's going well. It looks like the broadband is perfect. I got myself something new. So maybe I can actually get some stuff done. And it's hard to believe it actually took this long. In fact, I'm using a product that wasn't even available to me when I first got back from Taiwan. I was begging for something, anything, just to solve my problems. I went to all the phone companies, and Verizon almost worked, but it didn't work. And now Verizon has a new product, so I'm using the Verizon Home Internet. It's this big old appliance, and I don't know. I think that Siri or Google Assistant is listening to me right now. For all of you who are wondering what's going on with me, I did go to Utah. Now, I was in Africa less than a month ago. I was at the Richat structure. I'm just tired of trolls bugging me about stuff. You know, I don't know who a troll is, so I'm really on edge. If somebody confronts me with a bad attitude, you know, I'll give them one chance. But after that, they're done, and I'll tell them, I'm gonna block you. I'm done with that. And you know, actually, I told one person that I was going to block them, and they changed their attitude really quick, because anybody thinks they can say anything to you online. And actually, if you say something that would get you a punch in the face in real life, then you're going to trigger me. Okay, is this natural? Now, I did go here, but unfortunately, it's so big. I found out a lot of information. Let's go back out. I did have another... right here, this is a Utah relief map. I guess I could download it and show you the whole thing and zoom in. It's an SVG. Okay, well, maybe I can't then. But yeah, the place down here on the right, I don't know what all those lines are. Are those counties? Those must be counties. Actually, I think we'll just go back and keep it in the center. But if you notice, you've got the Great Salt Lake up at the top, and a couple other lakes, but apparently there's salt underneath this whole thing. I didn't get a chance to absorb everything. Let me just tell you my personal story. I went to Vegas first because a friend of mine was there, and I stayed longer because of a couple of reasons. So I spent 2 nights, actually 3 nights in Vegas, and I even spent a night at Caesar's Palace, which was on sale. It was one of the cheapest rooms, so that was nice. I got a big bathtub, got some hot baths. So those were really nice. In fact, I think I'm going to go sit in the jacuzzi later on today. But then after I was done, and I did have a little bit of drink, and it kind of affected me. I probably drank too much in Vegas with my friend. But after that, I went up to Utah real quick, just 300 miles, no biggie. And if you want to know how you get there, you follow the 15, it cuts right through the bottom. Let's take a look at a map. Let's take a look at Google Maps. Where are those Google Maps? I don't usually use them on my desktop. Where's that? That is in the middle of LA. Well, I don't want to go there. Let's go to Vegas. So if you didn't know, I flew from LA to Turkey, and as I flew over, the airplane went right over Vegas, and it came back right over Vegas. I got a shot. It was not very nice, but it was nice to see Vegas all lit up from the sky. That was probably 30,000 feet. So we went to Vegas, and then after I was done, I took the 15 up through St. George, And that's where I stopped and checked with the visitor center to see, because I knew from Google Maps that taking the 70 around to Moab, right there, which is where I decided it was like the largest city in this area. This is where I started. I'm basically could have probably used Google Maps to learn a lot, but what I now know, because the first of all, I knew there was more to the picture than I knew, so I decided, just go and do it, and so I did it. And I drove up there. I was driving up the 15, cut over on the 70. It was 10 p.m. I checked in to a hotel and spent all day the next day in Canyonlands National Park. And unfortunately, like I said, it was an exploratory mission trying to figure out what's going on. And what I realized, a couple things, is that it's so gigantic that you can't really see it all in one day at all. And here's the other problem. It was freezing. Now, when I say that, I'm not joking. It was literally, in many parts of this area, 32 degrees. I never saw 40. I was worried about snow, and the Weather Channel said 5 days of sun, but that didn't mean it was 5 days of warmth. It was the whole day going around Canyonlands National Park here. It wasn't really the whole day, because I also went over to this overlook. I think it's right there, to be honest. There it is, Needles Overlook. And I didn't even download the stuff from my cameras yet. I literally got in yesterday, dropped everything, made a big mess, and sat there and went to sleep. But what you get in the Needles Overlook, you're looking over these, and I have all the words for this stuff now. That's the best part. Where's my? I think it's. Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice to have. So far, so good, right? With the stream. Uh-oh, I'm getting a red light. See, why is it red? Why is it red? I have no idea, but I think it's going to be fine. Let's see here. Why is it red? I have no. Yeah, so I think that we're good, and I don't have anybody in the chat. I got a thumbs up. That's nice. But I thought, finally I got this connection that should be solid. I never wanted to get Spectrum internet because, first of all, my situation, I don't know if I'm going to be wanting to sign a year-long contract. Well, Verizon came up with a solution. I'm checking the box. Yeah, I want that. Where is it? You don't have it. And suddenly, I guess this new product came out. And the problem I'm worried about most of all is the actual upload. Because if I do a speed test now, and I can do that speed test right here, you can see that it quickly goes over 100 and has been reaching almost 150. But the problem is the download. Okay, so this time a little bit less. It was over that before. Oh, and actually I'm getting pretty good up. That's pretty nice compared to before. But to be honest, I was a little worried about the upload. It says my internet connection is very fast, Los Angeles. So we're good to go, right? Let's get started then. Let's keep this going. Where is that picture that I just downloaded? I don't know. I thought I put it over here. It's not over here. Okay, well, that's okay. I was just going to give you a mainstream geological explanation for what we're looking at here. But the bottom line is that I've seen stuff all over the world. Even Graham Hancock says quarrying was going on here for hundreds of thousands of years, he said. Now here's a net. Oops, that's the Colorado River. Let me just show you around. Let me back out. Arches National Park is just north of Moab. I didn't really want to go through the whole park because I got food poisoning. That was the personal story I forgot to finish on. So I went around Canyonlands, especially down here where the specific images that I just have been showing you on the thumbnail and earlier. It's right here. There's the thumbnail. And the question is that, okay, like wind can do this. You see these curves, and here's the question: is this wind? There's a lot of things I don't know yet. I grabbed a lot of information I still need to go through. I was also angry because apparently my 4x4 wasn't good enough for their hills. Well, why don't they make the roads better? A Suzuki Samurai can do it. Why can't I? I don't want to get into that too much, but I can just tell you that I couldn't get to where I wanted, but I also didn't know where I wanted to go at that time by looking at this, because I don't know the roads. Yeah, you can get the roads up. Let's put those in now since, where is it? Oh, this is Google Maps, so it's a little different. But just to me, this whole area, this reptilian. Oh, I can't make it 2D. Okay, let's go to Google Earth. All right away, I can see what I can see without even the states. You see a bunch of stuff here that I've already been here, right? That's Spanish Peaks. It's funny that there's two dots, and when you see the two dots of whiteness, is it snow? And then you get the same thing here, two, and then here, two. What's up with these twos? Where was I? Okay, let's all right. I guess that's the Salt Lake, right? So we can go out here. That's it right there. There's Moab. I'm trying to avoid turning on all the stuff. And when you look at that, you can see right away that there's something going on right south of it. And here's the thing that I don't understand. If it's really natural, which, okay, let me just be honest right now. I'm just going to say it. If it's not natural, it still had to happen a long time ago. And so I don't believe this is something that just happened in the last maybe even 100,000 years. I mean, according to mainstream, this is up to 200 million years old. But in my opinion, there's certain parallel lines that just don't make sense to me. Also, when you see how it curves, I mean, is that the wind curving? How does it curve so parallelly? And yes, there's such a thing called a parallel curve, or a parallel line, a parallel curve. So why is it curving all in the same direction? That's to me not reasonable logically for nature to do it. Down here, this is the canyon lens, and that thing looks like a cockroach, so it helps me find everything in between the cockroach and this area here. By the way, this is the Colorado River, and this is the Green River, and they come together, and the Colorado River continues. And there's a lot of roads that would take me, especially around this natural upheaval or dome geology that the richat structure is supposed to be. So if there's roads here, so I'm going back. It's just I got food poisoning. I was sitting in the hotel room thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? Am I going to get another night and go back out there? And I thought, I've already gotten to this point, and this was actually my main goal. There's still a lot that you can't see from the ground. This machined area, to me, I wanted to follow along. How is it so straight? For how many miles are we talking about? Okay, this looks to me like the stuff I've shown you in Africa. But you're talking about 4 miles long. I mean, that must be wind, right? Maybe water. But it's a bunch of different explanations. However, one thing you see, and I wish that I had taken a picture of it, in the arches, not here. We're talking about arches, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. Where's that arch? There's this one arch. Where is it? That's not it. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong screen. Let's get rid of this. Where did that go? Must be here, right? That's weird. I swear I saved it. And now I'm not seeing it. I thought that was it. That's weird. Okay, well, anyways, back to this. If we go to Natural Arch, we can go to Arches National Park and find the picture. I saved that. I don't understand. And if I save it in front of you, I'm going to get in trouble because you're going to see other stuff I've saved into some random folder. I saved in the wrong folder. Where is it? It's not here? There's this one arch. Now, if you saw the short I did... Oh, here it is. All right. Let's just do that. I want to grab this one. In fact, I grabbed this one. Did I download the original? Is that what happened? Let's try that again. Yeah, I did it already. So I'll just cancel that. Show in folder. Ah, still doesn't make sense. All right, but I have it right here. So let's take a look at this arch. Now, if you, let me just Okay. They have a bird hitting my building. Not sure what just happened. You know, some of these things, to me, looks like it's been manipulated. I don't really think that if you get an arch like this over time, you're going to find yourself getting these cuts on the side. So, and this arch right here, I didn't visit it. I will visit it. I'd like to see some closer things. But for these cuts here to be so symmetrical, I'm starting to believe that these arches were created. There's 2,500 arches in this park. So it's like people, okay, you have to join my imagination. I'm not going to say it was giants. I'm not going to say it was ancient humans. I'm not going to say it was aliens. That's for the future to determine. I'm just saying, to me, that looks a little too symmetrical with the side cuts. I mean, honestly, you've got that almost. I'm not saying that 90 degrees makes any difference. I'm just saying that a 90-degree cut on this side and almost 90-degree cut on that side. Trying to do what? I don't know. If you looked at my video that I did a few days ago directly from it, it's called Ancient Machining in Canyonlands. Let me see if I can get this up to show you this thing. It's right here. And if you look at this, you see these caves, right? But above it, you see a bunch of activity that's broken rock, shattered or broken up above. And I don't think they had fires in there. If it was used by ancient people, maybe it was for storage. Because I don't think a big old... First of all, that's big enough to go in, but a lot of these little caves I've seen are not very big. But if you look at this video that's a minute long, and when I turn it and show you the side, so again, above the cave, you see sharp, shattered, and also between these lines, you see right, left, maybe that's wind erosion in mainstream. However, it's not over here. There's the one that I showed in the thumbnail. Same type of thing. Shattered, broken, flattened. You know, that just fell off. Where's it didn't fall down here. We don't see it. So the other ones, the arches, you see a bunch of broken rocks. But when you get over here where I'm pointing now, you don't see any of that activity. So it's not like it happened to the whole thing. It only happened above the caves. So was that Native Americans trying to create some type of thing here above the caves? Like, for example, to avoid water dripping into it? I don't know. And those little divots also seem quite natural to me. So, in my opinion, first of all, it could all be natural. I'm not going to say anything. I'm thinking it's terraforming or machining, but there are no striations of a machine. It's just broken. And then when you look at this other arch right here, it's the same thing, broken. So for me, I think there's a similarity, and I'd like to know more about that. I might have to but this whole thing here, these are not arches, right? They're called needles. There's other words. I actually have it, not that. Actually, it was around here somewhere, and I thought I copied it, and now it's... Whoops, I probably shouldn't be showing my personal Google Drive. Okay, well, let's just say that this Google Pro, I created that for somebody who wanted to know how big it was, and I'm like, well, hey, it's exactly 1,500 feet wide. Not quite exactly. I mean, we can't really determine where this side over here was start or stopping when it comes to this. I believe it was created, I believe this was created. So, and it happens to be 1,500 feet exactly, But anyways, we can probably... I'll leave this open just in case. I don't know why I'm getting... Oh, let's turn that off. Okay, I guess I just closed it. Did I? No. Let's turn that off. There we go. And now I can just minimize this. So yeah, this is a place I'd love to visit in South Africa. Or actually, this is in Lesotho. but this road that follows this monument across goes over to South Africa. All right. Let's see. How many points have I made? This was really a big test to see. I actually am looking forward to a lot of good TV holidays. Uh, I really like that Detective Stabler. I mean, talk about badass. I know that in general, I don't really trust cops, but when it comes to Detective Stabler, man, that dude can protect. Okay, anyways, it's all fiction. Let's get back to this. Watch my previous video if you want to know why I feel like this looks like ancient quarrying to me. We can easily go over to Africa and take a look at the quarrying that happened there. And that's what I mentioned earlier when I said that Randall Carlson even says that quarrying has been happening here for hundreds and thousands of years. Now, he was referring to the richat, right? And the quarries in the richat are right here. And if you zoom in, you can kind of see these enclaves. That's not very impressive. Oh, by the way, new photos, really low quality photos have replaced. If you go to Google, see, that's why I want it open still. Where is it? Because we use the history tool, the timeline. I'm not really even sure how you do that anymore. It's been a while, but you turn on the timeline. Go back to the previous one because these let's get back to this. These are just all gray. They look really low res, really nasty. Let's see. I mean, you don't see a lot of striations of people walking here, but the one that I know was the one that I was so close to. I visited here. I went here. If I only had known that here was this quarry field, and if you visit it, you can see that there's definitely some human activity, maybe. Let's not always assume humans, but that's the first stop, right? And if it's so big, maybe it was some type of a giant. I mean, what were they doing quarrying here? Were they quarrying for ore that they could be processing, or were they quarrying for big stones? Well, it seems like, according to the paper that Randall Carlson showed, that these stones were faceted. So were they faceted just out of boredom, or were they faceted to... And I don't know where the stones picture came from. That's something else that I'd like to know. They showed a picture of a faceted mega breccia piece. Or they were saying breccia, and they were saying faceted, and Randall Carlson said hundreds and thousands of years. Here's another area here. You can almost see a 90-degree angle in there, or perpendicular lines. You've got the main drag. And when I say that, the main activity line, and then you've got these perpendicular lines. I mean, if this doesn't prove something was going on now, for Team Richat being Atlantis, this might be an argument against that. Hey, see, Celisa? Or is that... I was going to say Celia. Celisa Arphonia? Hi, and this guy. I saw that earlier, so hopefully you're still with me, this guy. How many viewers do I have? 4? 3 thumbs up. Very cool. Yeah, and when I went here last month... was it last month? Yeah, because it's November now, and I was there in October. I still haven't done a lot of stuff on that. What's this? I still haven't done a lot on my trip, and there's just a few things that I need to get going on that. Let me just turn that. But I just want to tell you that there is a quarry that's even more interesting out here that I wanted to visit in my trip. Impossible to do with the plan I made. Unfortunately, you need to get camels to go out to a place like this. I'm not riding no camel. So I want to drive out there. I know there's roads. There's roads, but the problem is getting someone to go there. And also the other problem I had with the Richat trip was I barely got here by 5 p.m. Actually, we turned around and watched the sun go down about 6. So this ride back, it's a long story. Not a happy story when it comes to perfection in traveling, but it was a learning experience. Let's just put it that way. Hey, Jim, hi, how are you? Well, guess what? If you just arrived, and I'm going to take a drink, I just got this new broadband from Verizon, and it seems to be working and solving my problem. I everything worked well, so maybe I'll do one of these every day for the next month. I have to do a little bit more research on Utah, but all I can say is that the Utah trip enlightened me in a couple of ways. Now, when I came back from the Richat, I had to fly to Turkey, and then I went from Turkey to LA. So they followed this pathway, and I can tell you where I know I saw I literally you take a line from LA and you take it to Vegas, yeah, distance to here. And then you go straight from there, and that's where I started about here because I was sleeping and I don't have a lot of interest in this area, and I didn't know where I was actually. I mean, obviously, another thing is you got to keep the blinds down. Everybody's trying to sleep, and it's very irritating if you open it up. So people are waking up on the plane, and I just wanted to look over Utah because I've been thinking about going to Utah. So I didn't even realize where Utah was, but I did know that I could see straight lines. And during that trip, I did find one right about here in Utah, and I wow, look at that. I could have visited that, but I'm like I said, I was getting over food poisoning. I was like, nope, nope, just want to get out of here and hit the road. I had some time limits. I was interested in getting back before dark, and then I got hit by some traffic in the in San Bernardino County that blew my mind. It was ridiculous. I actually got lucky with that because I knew a secret path, and I did have a 4x. So I took a 4x road to bypass some stupid Caltrans work. I'm looking for this one thing. Is it that? Oh, there it is. It's right there, Cedar Mountain. So how far was I away from Cedar Mountain? I was pretty close. I was pretty close. Now, I do question these lines because if you know the previous video, if you go down, it's going in bisecting right here, right down here, like right there. Well, okay, so we got that line, but we've got this line. It's bisecting this little peak or whatever. Now I know that's not connected to this line, but you've got. I know. Okay, so here's my thing. If this was unnatural, it's old. Still, it's old, like a million years old, because I can't see what I found being done quickly at all. Canyonlands National Park, pretty close. I was close because I went along the 70. I was in Moab. I woke up. I was like, oh, I can barely move. It was freezing too. I had the heater on 90. I ate something that made me have the chills. I don't know if it was the beef I got in Las Vegas, but unfortunately, I had the chills. I got out of bed, took another hot shower, got back in bed, had chills. And so I'm like, I'm screwed. I might even have to go to the hospital here. I didn't vomit. I didn't have a lot of gastro problems, but it was from food poisoning, in my opinion. And so I'm like, don't really feel like going back. I spent all day out here, and that's kind of what started. I was hungry. I had some snacks, but when I got back I had a bunch of food waiting for me back at the hotel in Moab. So I said, I got to get back there. So 6 p.m., I'm cooking this food in the microwave and eating stuff, and I had some chips. I had what was it? Pumpkin cheesecake, Ben and Jerry's ice cream. That is gross. I threw it away. I couldn't eat anything, so I'm trying to take a bite of this. I already had the food poisoning. I don't think it was from the beef that I cooked. The beef Wellington that my friend John bought in Vegas. Let's see here. So I'll just give you the truth about where you're going to be here. Go up here to Elephant Hill. You park, and then you hike. Now you can see right here what's called a I forgot the name already. It's right here in my search history. Chester's Hill. Yeah. Sorry, I remembered. It's called Chester's Hill. It's right. Sorry, not Hill. It's Chester's Park. It's right there, down there. This is like everybody's destination. They want to go into this park. Okay, let's measure the park. Let's go to Google Earth. So I showed you the quarries that I wanted to visit. There's a lot of them. I don't know. There's crazy quarries everywhere in Africa. All right. So the challenge is to zoom in there. Okay, I can see it. There it is right there. That's Moab. And then you get in here to Chester's Park. Let's measure Chester. Where are we? You got to get way. Okay, there we go. So Chester's Park has a lot of really high peaks. So let's just measure the longest points. So it's like only 2 miles long. Well, 1.5, 1.6. So when you think about, I was unfortunately arriving at the parking spot at like 5 p.m. The sun was going down. So I knew that there's no way I was going to hike. I could have still driven, but I didn't have permission. And so I'm like, well, I got a couple beers. I guess I'll start drinking some beers because I didn't have, I guess I finished my snacks. So I'm like, I'll have a beer to fill my stomach. So if anything caused the food poisoning, it was those stupid Samuel Adams winter beers that I took with me on that trip. And I only had two, and I didn't even open the second one. I drank that last one here. So one beer I drank. And I didn't feel like the second beer. I already knew I had some kind of issue. So that's again, I forgot again. Chester's Park. Is that correct? Chester's Park? Let's see. Not here. If you put in Chester's Park, Utah. What? Maybe I got the wrong name. No, that's wrong. What was it? What did I just say? I thought I said it. Let's try this. Oh, Chester Park. Chesler Park, Utah. So this is where you want to go. Chesler Park, Utah. So Chesler Park is right there. And when I say you want to go there, no, you can camp there if you want. Yeah, camp there and then go south and a little bit west to see this, what I think looks like machining. Now, it's old, and even though you see straight parallel lines, you don't get the cross 45s like I said. And also, these lines don't go down to the bottom. So when you're down there, you're looking at it, you can see photos of it. And where are the photos? Photos should be popping up. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I was going to Google Pro. Let's go there and Google Earth Pro. Sorry, not Google Pro. It's slow for some reason. Google Earth Pro just closed down my CPU last night. I was messing around. I was trying to find some photos of this stuff, and I couldn't find anything. Nothing good. I found a couple of pictures. See what's happening? I'm trying to move, and it's not. Now it's not responding. This is ridiculous. I have an i9. Okay. All right, here we come. So again, you can see the Colorado River. You can see the Green River. It looks like the Green River is bigger than the Colorado before they converge. And it's got, again, it's frozen. Yeah, this is Google Earth Pro, and it shouldn't be crashing. Hi there. Thank you, I am Kairos, for your support too. Now, let's take a look at this one. It's popping up right there. There, you can easily see Chesler's Park. That's nothing. A river. And that doesn't even belong there because the river's not there. There's no river there. It's like they just threw that, whatever. Is there a river there? I don't see a river. Is that a river? Maybe that's a river. Doesn't look like one. Yeah, so I think what we need to do is turn off the 3D because I think that's what's causing the problem. I can turn it off in Google Earth, earth.google.com. All right. So there, yeah, and it's just that same machining feel, when I look at this. But yeah, it must be old. It's really hard to. Is that a river? Well, it's a riverbed, but is it an active river? I don't know. Look at this stupid Google Earth Pro. Maybe I should re-download it. So once you get, okay, so yeah, this whole area is a place that I couldn't get to. Now you can if you have like a good high four-wheel drive, you can get a permit to drive a little closer. Where was I? Okay, so you can zoom in and use Google Earth's 3D function. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. It always happens when you're in the. So to me, these high peaks, they call these needles. When you're down on the ground looking at them, you're not going to really see what you see from Google Earth. Oh, there I am. No, I was never there. Wow, this is really cool once it works, right? So this is a national park, so they did this work. These are called mushrooms, and that's another thing. You see the line, but when you are down on the ground, you don't see the line. You just see the mushrooms. They don't look the same. Look at that. And yeah, that's erosion. I mean, it's old. It's old, but it still seems to look like what I showed you in Africa. You know, you see the straight lines, but then you've got this erosion, and you don't have the 45 cross cuts. Well, maybe that's one. That looks like a 45 cross cut, right? But the thing is usually they cross. Okay, there you go. So that's a nice cross cut right there. But then it's like, what happened here? Did the maybe that's lower than the cut? So that's the thing. They don't look right when you get down there on the ground at all. So yeah, this is freezing again. So let's get out of here. Let's get out of here and just go back to Google Earth. I'm actually just going to close it. I'm sick of that. I hate that so much. You know, and this is why this new broadband internet connection that I just showed you. By the way, I am Kairos. I don't know if you saw it, but I got myself a new broadband connection, and it's hopefully going to solve all these past problems I've had. Now it's over 150. It's actually almost. Yeah, by the way, I just want to say one thing. When they told me about it, they told me it was 1,000 megabits per second. And the upload is a little better too. But usually in Taiwan, my upload would always go up to 10. So upload speed in Taiwan, and you can get 300 megabits per second in Taiwan. So it's still better in Taiwan than the States. You can get it for like $15 a month. So you don't have to pay as much for broadband as you do in the USA. Okay, where was I? Let's get back to trying to find that same spot I was just in. So here we are. Wait, Chesler's Park, right there. This is like where everybody wants to go and take pictures. The spot in between it has this ridge, this really high ridge. And this is questionable to me because, I mean, what's going on here? Why did it form like this? There's no local legends of giants. There's no local legends of unnatural creation. They've accepted all this as natural, and I say that if it's not natural, that it's still old. So there you go. Hey, I really had a good time, but I really want to be able to prepare better information. I just wanted to give you an update and do a test. I'm really happy with the test. I'm very happy with the test, in fact. So it's going to encourage me to maybe even later today do a second one and get back over to the richat, because those are the ones everybody cares about, right? And my way of doing it is live. I love to do things live. So with that being said, unless somebody has some questions, please ask. I'm just going to goof around a little bit. So you can easily, I don't want to have to, thank you, I am Kairos. I'm impressed that you have been sticking by me. And I don't know, you gave me a few videos. The video that really made me mad was the one that just didn't show. They spend hours editing these videos, but the pictures they put in there, they're very frustrating pictures, because some of them are like fantasy, like or they take them from movies. There's more lines. Look at that. That's interesting, right? Whether it's natural or not, I'm not going to say. Can parallel lines be created from weathering? That's hard for me to believe. And they seem to think that it's just so easy. Where were we? It's near the peak, right here, right there. See, you see these two peaks, and then you see Moab, And then when you go in right away, I was gonna try to go here instead of leaving. I did go to Arches National Park on the way out. It's up here, right there. That's the visitor center. And one thing that was in the visitor center was a sign saying we really don't have an explanation for everything. And I didn't take a picture of it because I was still I was talking to the ranger and asking her questions. I wasn't sure if I would go. Actually, one thing that really pissed me off was you're not allowed to stop here and unload your grandma. You have to park over here, and then she has to wheelchair it over. Um, and there's a couple of there's the bathrooms were there, and so then I went in and they had this one sign. It said, "Oh, please don't ask us to explain everything because not everything's explainable." Where's that? Where's that arch? Okay, we can close that. Uh, what's this? No, that's weird. That's Skype. I'll probably remove Skype from my desktop. I put it on my desktop for one purpose, and then I never got back to it. Okay, let's just do this. Sorry, I'm hiccuping. Arches National Park. I tried finding this sign, and you go to the visitor center and take a picture of it for me, please. The thing I wanted to do is to go to the wiki and go down and look at that thing again. I'm definitely going to visit this one. So I told her, I said, that's going to break and it's going to fall on somebody, right? Well, here's the question. Where are all the rocks that were inside here? You see these rocks, but where are the rocks that were over here? They just got taken away. They disintegrated. The Native Americans moved them. Some of these are really big rocks, right? What's going on here? Where's that picture? Oh, I'm going to do this again? I didn't want to do that again. Here, let me do this way. I saved it this time, right? Must be in downloads, right? Okay, there it is. Found it. All right, so once you get in here, you can zoom in on stuff. I mean, it kind of shows a line right there, like that was the weak spot. But to me, this little crack here is very similar to that thing I showed you before. I mean, to me, that's not natural, right? Unless it cracked and fell off. I mean, sure, it could be natural, but the thing is when you look at the way it's all cut, especially over here, it looks similar to that cave. So I think there was something going on. And apparently there's like 2,400 of these arches in this park. 2,400. I mean, if it's natural, how can it be constant? How come you don't have arches in California? You have them in Ohio. Oh, we just saw the search shows the different arches that they know about. But the ranger told me that there's 2,400. And then, so the way you would want to search this is a natural arch. Natural, where was that? I'll just use the plural, natural arches. Not just in Utah, though. So if you just, so when you scroll down, you'll find natural arch Wikipedia, and it gives you all these different places. Africa, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you might want to count how many in each place. I'll do that later. Antarctica, interesting. I'd like to see those. Let's click on that. Wait, let's hover. Oh, but see here it's broken. That's it. Wow. That's just too. It collapsed in 1910. Well, maybe they got a picture of it. It's a former arch. Look at that. And then Scott Island in the Antarctic has. Okay, well, I'm not seeing much. And small has a natural arch. Okay, so a natural arch is just 3 feet wide. There's rules. So to be called a natural arch, it has to follow a couple of rules. That one's interesting, honestly. That one right here, that actually looks like too symmetrical. too symmetrical. What's going on here? That's very symmetrical. And that was an arch, and it collapsed in 1910. Where's the? There we go. Here is a picture of it. Back when it was. Look at that. I mean, come on. That doesn't look natural at all to me. I actually want to save that. That's great. So these arches are one of the new things I'm going to be looking at, obviously. And I always thought there was just a couple of them, and then I kept seeing a few arches. I'm like, wow, how many are we talking about here? Where is it? Let's go back here. So yeah, in Asia, and Asia is a very large area. China, India. Now this is not a. These are actually single arches. These are single because you see China twice, right? Xiaoren Bridge, Xianren. Xianren. I do speak Chinese. Where's the picture? No picture? 10 longest span natural arches in the world list. Okay, let's open that. But where's the bridge? Why don't we see a photo of Xianren Bridge? How can nobody have uploaded a photo? Let's go back to the list. Europe. Okay, we have Spain, Portugal, Italy. But where are the ones in California? United States. Is there any in California? Goat Rock Beach. We have one in California. Where's the other ones? There must be another one in California. If you have 2,400, why do you only have one in California? Oh, there's a second one here. Natural Bridges State Beach. And when you see something like this, you say, yeah, I can understand how that's natural. Why would they need to create something like that? Go through there. That's on the north side of Monterey Bay. I did not know that. That must be Santa Cruz right there. And here's a couple of arches at natural bridges in 1970. Okay, so we have a second arch here. You grew up in Santa Cruz? Goat Rock. Where's Goat Rock? You grew up in Santa Cruz? What? Oh, so that picture. Okay, I saw what you said. Where is it? So you're saying that one fell right there when you lived there. That's very interesting. So that's why we only had that one, and that gap was there. Very interesting. So who cleared the rocks when they fell down? And I wonder if anybody got injured from the fall, because look at all those people there. Very interesting. I am Kairos. I'm sorry, I didn't even think you were living in America. Where's Goat Rock? Okay, in the Russian River mouth. Goat Rock, Russian River. Let's take a look at this. I have a microphone. Goat Rock, Russian River. Sonoma County. Oh, that one. Okay. But I'm not seeing it here. Why do they keep showing a picture of that thing? So okay, so what I'm going to do is there an arch? Where's the arch? Oh, that's it. That's it. I'm sorry. Is that the same one? I'm a little confused. They look very similar, but they're not the same. That's different from this one. The one that I just navigated away from. Wow. How old are you? Oh, there are? Okay. And that's the other thing. Apparently, these arches go in the Arches National Park. They don't all have names. Look at this one. Wow. Okay, so we're the same age. There's the airport. There was a very interesting bunch of hills with a door in them. And apparently, like, people are making rooms in these hills all the time. There's old stuff everywhere. It says don't mess with any archaeological stuff you find. Like, you can find evidence of homes. You can find evidence, of course, not thousands of years old. So there's a lot to do here. I'll go back in the summer when I'll go get a 4x so I can drive around the areas I want to. Or my 4x is a Ford Explorer. It's just not jacked up. Wow. Very interesting. Okay, well, let's see. What else is there to talk about? I mean, I was, like I said, just doing a test. Napa Valley, wine country. Okay, I don't want Google Maps anymore. Get out of Google Maps. Speed test, natural arches. Let's close all this stuff. We'll find it again soon. That's very interesting. I should have saved that picture before I navigated away. Um, Bottom line is that the stuff I found here, I'll go through it real quick. I have it ready to go. This is the files I've got. So in Africa, in everywhere in the world, but mainly South Africa, Africa, some places, I've got canals, channels, circular dikes, craters, dribble mountains. So if you don't know what a dribble mountain is, you can watch some of my previous videos. These mountains that kind of look like they've been, remember sandcastles? It looks like someone was using, making sandcastles. Okay, wait a minute. Not sandcastles, but when you take a handful of wet sand, you dribble them so they dribble upwards. They get higher and higher. Well, I'm talking about like dribbling and making lines. So the line's not complete. It looks like it's been dribbled on with sand, but in a megalithic capacity. Let me just open up a couple. Okay, for example, this one, they're very straight. So that kind of also has a different category. But over here, you can see something was going on. So you can always check these pictures yourself at facebook.com/wasthisatlantis. So the dribble mountains are one category that one category that I've been collecting. Let me just yeah, I'm ready to relax. It's Thanksgiving almost. I'm ready to have some turkey and sit around and watch some TV and just veg. From R.O.C. That's from Randall Carlson. There's a bunch of stuff from Randall Carlson that I collected and put on my page. Gaps, gutters, tracks. Okay. I know you've seen some of this stuff before. So that's one of the categories. Gaps, gutters, and tracks. You know, I saw something last night that just made me realize these guys were just following in one line. They weren't like using two lines. So when you see these tracks, you just see a single line. I'm not sure what kind of devices they had. Intersections, mining, modern day structures. Forget that. There's nothing in there. A bunch of stuff that I used to think was something I put in there. Semi-submerged canals and structures in the local Solano and Napa County wetlands. 1,000 by 1,000 structure I want to canoe into. Can you share that? I mean, I'm very interested. And by the way, I'm in California, so I can get up there in a heartbeat. Maybe we got to do it together real quick. I did not know you were in California. Yeah, I'd like to see a picture of that. So these nubs, I call them nubs, and when I say nub, I'm not talking about the bump that you find on megalithic masonry like in Peru, which are also nubs. These are gigantic forms that follow tracks that seem like they were some type of overburden dump, you know, or they just they did something. They had to ditch their extra stuff, but the gap goes right past that. So I don't know what's going on. This one is quite prominent. Look at that thing. And it follows a line that goes on for miles and miles. So those nubs are significant. Don't see any of those in Utah, really. I mean, maybe I can double check. The other thing here is OB dumping. You know, I personally think some of these were dumped. I know that looks pretty big, but when you look at it and it wonder how it got formed, and you have another little one right there. And what's that? A mound? What is that? Figure out that looks flat, but there's some water. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. This whole area right by the Colorado River, that's pretty coincidental, right? So if it's right by the Colorado River, okay, I guess I close that. Where's the photos? Parallel quarry cuts, plateaus and cliffs, quarrying and mining, reclamation and damming. Okay, so I used to call this reclamation, but because I don't have many blatant examples such as this one, I kind of combined it into damming as well because that's really what I'm seeing here. There's no river there, so why they dammed it, I don't know, but it looks to me like that's a dam, right? I always say that maybe I could build a mountain like that in my lifetime, but to be honest, you have to look around. You see a lot more examples. There's the same place. That other line's around the corner here, but that line goes on and on. I'm sorry, this is the same place for sure, but I believe the other photo I just showed you goes on and on. Yeah, I definitely want to go to the Serpent's Mound, just so I can say I've been there. I think that I've looked at it enough times that I should actually just go there. And I have to be honest, traveling through America is pretty nice, pretty easy. You don't have a lot of dangers or concerns. Not like in Mauritania where it's like, it's not violent. It's not about violence or people trying to kill you. It's more about just feeling secure. Ridges, roads, and walls. This is a lot, right? And I can show you so many different examples of things that go right through. The Orange River in Lesotho. How long have I been doing? Okay, 1 hour. This is great. 1 hour. So this is my new collection, and I'm gonna do a nice presentation on this. And I call these smudge pits, right? The funny thing about the smudge pits is they always get breached. Where's the pictures? Okay, I made the category, but I didn't add pictures. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you go to Lesotho, and I know a lot of you have already seen this, and you can easily find Lesotho because it's got a white, or I'm sorry, it's got a different coloration along the border. And when you zoom in on the bottom of it all, you easily find this little notch. And it's these parallel lines that, let's measure that real quick. Now, I don't want to go too deep, but let's say right about here is the end. So let's get a measurement on that. That's 16 miles. So we've got 16 miles of parallel lines, but where do they end up? They end up in this pit. I call this the smudge pit. And yes, it's been breached. So whatever it was, water came down and then something happened and it finally breached. I guess it filled with water, right? I mean, it had to have a complete wall here to get breached. Well, you go and look at the other one that I've shown you many times, which is right up here. I'm going to slowly find it. Is my equipment going to serve me? There it is. And at the end of this structure here, you also have a smudge pit, which seems to have been breached. You don't have an input river, but don't forget, you've got this isosceles triangle here. So something was going on here that's old. And you also see these lines at the top that look like the place I just visited. I'm reading your comment. I am Kairos. I've been exploring Northern California. Let me just go through all the comments and get a record of it. They seem to disappear. Like, you can't access them. So I'm sorry I didn't show you this before. But Kyoko Kiriguri. What? Guri? Funny. Is it Kyoko or Kyoto? Kyoko. I said it right. What is BOTG? I have BOTG videos. Big. I don't know what BOTG stands for. I'm curious. I'm going to have to look it up. BOTG meaning. I know. If you have 100 megabits per second, you might as well. What is this? Free dictionary. Boots on the ground. Okay, I got it. Boots on the ground video. See, I got it, but you got it. Thank you. Boots on the ground videos you may enjoy, especially Starfort Point in San Francisco with the 1,800-foot long megalithic granite seawall with metal between the joints. Of course I want to see that. Of course I want to see that. These star forts just came up from, if you want to know about star forts, go over to, let me see here. What am I doing? Let's put this back over here. And go to the star fort that I visited. It's going to have to be a new category. Let's go to Zero Control's channel. He just did a thing on star forts. So go to Zero Control. Where? Okay, there it is here. And take a look at his star forts. Let's look at his videos. Where are those star forts? He just did it. Well, this is a month old, and then he just did... That's weird. Maybe he deleted it. It must be in here, right? At the beginning, 8 days ago. This has got to be it. Let's go in here and find out about the star forts. Now, see, that's the Kanat, which is also quite... He calls that the eighth wonder of the world. I'm not seeing star forts. Where is those star forts at? This is 8 days ago. I'm pretty sure this is it. But anyways, he has a star fort thing. I even got a comment from him on that video because I said, did you see the ones in Colorado? I said, did you see the one in Colorado? And he said, oops, I don't want to look at that. He said, I've seen both of them. So there was 2 in Colorado. All right, I'll just go to the star fort I know in Colorado because I can't find this. Let's get out of here. Let's duplicate this. This one will be on the left will be Africa, and back on the... Sorry, the other way around. The one on the left will be North America because we're so used to seeing it. And the place that I went was right along the Rocky Mountains. So if you've seen the old videos, I went to here. That's Spanish Trail. Then I took the 25 south back into... Okay, I need some lines here. Let's put everything on there. All right, so there you go. So there's the 25, and then the star fort is right down here. Let's just do a search and put star fort. It's a... The thing about it is it's is it one word or two? Star fort. Star Fort, New Mexico. Let's try that. All right. That's it. Okay. Fort Union National Monument. So when you zoom in here, you quickly see this Star Fort. That's the visitor center, I guess. I don't know what's going on here. What are those? I don't even know what those are. Honestly, what are those? Do we have a... Let's go right there. The Star Fort's right here. It's just a little bit too ancient looking for me to believe that it was 1800s. Okay, so those are all dilapidated adobes. All right. So these were buildings. Interesting. Very interesting. So this was the... What did I search for? Ooh, let's see if we can see the... Wouldn't that be cool if I could see this? See, I'm telling you, you don't need to drive anywhere. You can just use Google Earth. I haven't shown you the Star Fort yet. I pointed at it real quick. You may... Oh, there we go. Whoa, go back. There we go. Home for the Commandants. Look at that. That's awesome, but you can't read it all. Home for the Commandants. I'm surprised they didn't blur this. Yeah, that's kind of beautiful, but okay, here's the thing. Do you really believe that these people who built these adobes made all these ancient tracks around there? And yeah, there's the Star Fort. And here my question is, and I think we're going to get a picture. Okay, maybe not. That's weird. Where's the pictures? You know, there's so many things I forgot to do. So this thing goes in there. I just want to see, is that a pit? You can't even see it. Is it a pit? What is that? Is that the pit? Or is it like some type of a Nazca line? I just don't get it. Are they trying to imply there were these big, huge walls? Well, let me ask you a question. If the houses still have walls, why didn't that gigantic Star Fort still have the walls? Yeah, I think we're being lied to. And then we have no pictures of it. Look at this thing. Yeah, for sure. And by the way, there probably is LiDAR on it. So you can barely see these lines. I guess they're really flat according to what I just saw. Let's try that one more time, see if we can get a different perspective. Let's try this. Somebody put in a bubble. I mean, we're barely seeing anything. And we're supposed to believe that that big huge thing was a ready to repel the Confederates. I mean, are they saying those were walls and then they just disappeared or something? I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, the lidar. You know what? Every time someone's given me a lidar file, it's been ridiculous. It's been not gonna lie to you about lidar. Lidar lies are terrible. So there you go. This star fort, of course, is just flat, from my understanding at this point. You know. Yeah, by cowboys. It's like, why would they do that? If these are the houses, why wouldn't it look to me the logical way is the way the French build forts, and I can show you some examples in Africa of that. Look at these ancient lines that are here, you know, in the ground. You think the cowboys did that, or the Civil War commandants did those deep grooves? I mean, those grooves are almost as deep as the Star Fort is. So this could be another stop. I'm just telling you, it's freezing, 32 degrees. Now this right here, okay, well never mind. It's just interesting, right? It's like, what's going on? How wide are these grooves? It says it's 1/100 of a mile. How many feet? So 40 feet wide. Let's try another one real quick. Let's find it first. These over here look good. Yeah, start new. 40 feet. This is 30 foot right there. 25, 22, 21. So maybe 25. We can get in closer and adjust it. I mean, honestly, that's a skinny, well, and what is that, a little wall? 22 feet. What is that? What's that spine in the middle? Maybe we have some other views. Yeah, what kind of machines did they have? That's a good question. I mean, you've got these lines. They're like Nazca lines, right? But they're not making any animals. If we could just get, let's see if we can get near a road. Okay, so that, let's go back to this. No? Not going to do it, huh? I was hoping to see it from a road. Get rid of that. Okay, so we got that. Kind of have it here. Let's go right there. See, this is the stuff I've been wanting to do, and I tried to do it so many times to get set up. You can barely see anything going on there. What's that? Looks like a pipe. Oh, that must be a drainage pipe from the other side. Let's go to the other side. Wow, it's all gray. I don't see anything. Let's go to satellites.pro and check this out again. Let me just back out so I know where I'm going. Oops. Satellites.pro is here. And let's use this. Let's get out of here and let's just back out so I know where I'm at. Because satellites.pro is hard to navigate. Let me point it north, north, north. Come on. What is going on here? What happened? I didn't say leave the area. Where is it? Fort Union Rest Area? Where was that? Irritating. Okay, let's go back. Let's do it again. All right, there we go. Now, let's go make it north. I don't want it to not be north-south, and it's like twisting it around. It's not. It's pissing me off. All right, let's try that. There we go. That's right. Okay, so let's back out. So now you can see where we need to go. All right. Sheesh. Where am I going? Oh, yeah, Colorado. No, not Colorado. Down here. I think that's it right there. Wow, this is taking forever. All right. Is that it right there? That's it. Where's the star fort? Oh, it's over here. I mean, it just looks so well defined. And for them to say, oh, this is the Confederate soldiers did this. Okay, it just doesn't look like anything you saw in the cowboy days. That's actually such a great shot, right? Unfortunately, you got these ads you can't get rid of. That goes away, but these won't. So we don't have any street view here. What I was going to do is try to look over here at this road. I mean, the tracks are there, but what are they? They're not significant. That looks like this groove. Well, okay, never mind. That's a river probably. I didn't know where I was. So let's go back in here. I was over here. I was looking at this stuff. There was a line that, oh, it was over here. Okay, it was turned around. Well, I'm just having fun. Like I said, just messing around. Yeah, that shared template. And by the way, not just in the USA, right? You've got that shared template across the world. Am I not mistaken? I'm going to find that Zero Control video and watch it one more time because he had a star fort. I think I have it right here. Where is that at? Sea Bay survey. No, that's Carolina Bays. I had a survey I downloaded. I tried to find the one he had, and I don't know. It was traveling, so I couldn't. Or no, it's 8 days ago. I wasn't traveling. Look at these. And that looks like it's all like it doesn't even have water anymore. But you can tell that used to hold water, or it appears to have been a little bit of a pond. And now they've got animals in it eating because those animals are getting the nutrients from what was there hundreds and thousands of years ago. They're naturally drawn into that nutrition and that the fact that they're going to get probably a more enriched diet. Look at that. How long is that line? Let's see. Google Earth. Where's my measuring stick? Oh, there you go. All right. So that's not very long. That's only 3 miles, right? 2 miles. So that's a 2 mile line. You know, it's like, where were they going? Why were they going there? That's a road. It looks like it's going out of, there you go. You can follow these right out of town. So why are these lines still here and what were the purpose? Yeah, I'd like to, there's something you can download that, thank you for saying I'm correct. I mean, if we've got star forts all over the world, then this has to be something. I mean, how old is that? Nazca lines, how old are they? It's like the ground was etched. So we can see we have some new things to take a look at. I'll try not to waste time with too much junk, with too much stuff. Very interested in Graham Hancock's new show because he's animated so much cool stuff. I'm not going to share any of it because I do respect copyright, but well, yeah, it is a shadow. Look at it. There it is. It's right there. It's a shadow basically, but I mean, it's like, first of all, that shape. It's just so. Yeah, I don't believe for a second that the Fort Union National they did it at all. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, and I'd like to see more. And here's the other thing. Okay, let me just point out another thing that doesn't make sense. When you're building a fort for protection, you don't live outside the fort in houses outside, unless those were built later on for some reason. Adobes that are melting, those are 100 years old, if not older. and I assume it's the 1870s. I mean, maybe 1850s, 1860s. When was the Civil War again? I forgot. Civil War period. Where's the date? 1861 to 1865. So if they were these are what, Union soldiers? I don't even know. It says Fort Union National Monument. So I had to do a little research on that. But the point that I think is that California became a state in 1850. Now, this is not California. This is Colorado. When did Colorado become a state? Oh, sorry, it's New Mexico, right? 1876. When did New Mexico become a state? What? Is that really? I had no idea. That's funny. 1912? That's weird. I guess I was not aware of that. So it's an unincorporated area at that point, during if any mainstream history here has any relevance. Where's the info? I thought I just pulled it up. Okay, well, let me just get rid of this and go back to the map. What's that? Yeah, these things are just so big, and they are straight. Whoops, this is a problem with satellites.pro. Yeah, so you've got this star fort, and then you've got all these houses that, if they're the commandants, we just looked at the sign, right? If they're the guys in charge, are they really going to live outside the fort in some neighborhood? I mean, those things were melting. Yeah, those buildings were melting. So they were built with adobe. Let's go look at them again. Oh, not here though. Let's go here again. You have to just ask a few logical questions and you finally realize something's being covered up. So what we've got are smokestacks. Those are made out of brick, so those remained. But the walls were made out of adobe brick, so the smokestacks are made out of red brick. Because adobe brick, you can't make a chimney out of adobe brick. I guess you can try. There's a lot of adobe buildings in Monterey. Yeah. Exactly. What were they protecting out there? They've got all these, what was it? What did the sign say? Commandants? It says the commandants right there. Home for commandants. Why would they? I mean, I guess later on, after. So if we don't have a year, I got to go there. So we're definitely going back. Let's just see if we can get along here. Can I do the arrows instead? Oh, there you go. I'm just doing the arrows. So as you can see, you've got adobe brick and you've got red brick chimneys that didn't last either. Yeah, anything that's adobe brick. I mean, that's old, right? That's like pre-1860 maybe, or maybe 1860. I mean, there's no Civil War out here, so they're not out here to fight the Civil War. So to look at the Civil War dates, you don't really have to. What's that over there? So this is their other fort, right? So the Star Fort, it's all BS. They're talking about how they made a fort, but then they've got a fort over there. Let me back out and see if we can get out over there. Maybe we can find some more signs. So yeah, look at all this. What's this? This is like a major fort here. This is like a major military place with all these buildings. That's almost as big as the military base I was on. Seriously, when I learned Chinese in the military. So if we look at okay, let's go right, where? Monument Lane. They love to create these visitor centers. Well, you would assume they had a train. I think they had trains before the Civil War, didn't they? How I did not. I was at DLI. Fort Ord is giant. I was at DLI learning Chinese. All right. So I don't know what we're looking at. No, I'm looking for the sign, hoping we can see the sign again. But this looks like a major place that the commandants didn't live at. That was probably their office, right? So again, Adobe. I don't believe it was red brick all the way through. The way these things, if it was and it's still decayed, then it's much older than 140 years. Well, we're 220, right? So I have to add the 22 years. Okay, definitely time to get this video finished up. I'll finish right at 90 minutes. I'm just so happy that my internet finally survived and didn't cut me off and made me look like an idiot. That's the truth, right? I was feeling so angry. So what is this? It says, it looks like a number, but I guess I'm wrong. So where's the sign? Is that the sign? Why does it have to do that? Okay, it looks like a sign. I'm not sure if it's a sign, so there's only one thing we can do, and that's go in and look at it. All right, is that a sign? What does that say? It's all messed up. Damn it. Let's try backing off a little bit. All right, what does it say? It says keep the wagons rolling. So that's one thing, like the mission system. When the Spanish built the missions throughout California, they did it so people traveling could travel for one day, reach the next mission, sleep there so they didn't get killed in the middle of the night and raped, and then the next day they would go to the next mission. So they could travel and stop at a mission every night as long as they... So what does it say? The Mechanics Corral. Okay, so this is a wagon repair point is what they're trying to say here. Well, there certainly are a lot of buildings. So it really has nothing to do with the Star Fort at all. And the Star Fort, if you look at this big thing, it doesn't really make any sense compared. So you've got all these buildings here, and then they've got the Star Fort over here. Is it not possible they just did it because it was the most logical location? Whoops, what did I do? Let me try that again. So this is north. And the other funny thing about the Star Forts is they don't seem to point north-south. Why would they not face north? Why would it be so askewed? I mean, honestly, don't tell me it's 23.5 degrees. Because if it is, that means that it's old. Anything 23.5 degrees. I don't know how much of an angle that is. But if that's 23.5 right there, then that's like pre-axis shift. And what's these lines in the middle? It's like... It's not really even a fort, you know, especially since it looks like you had entry points here. I guess I mean, was it a building? They gave you that sign that made it look like it was once. That just doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense at all. Let's look at that one more time. I actually wish that I had stopped there now that I see it. What's that? Is that the sign? Let's read it. Is that the sign I showed you before? I don't think so. Okay, if this is the way we're going to be. Yeah, I don't know what that says. But the other one I showed you oh, there it is over there. It showed walls, like they had walls built. But that's not what we're seeing at all, are we? We're seeing a whole different complex. Okay, I am going to finish this in 6 minutes. All right, ready to repel Confederates. See what they're implying? They're implying that they had all that stuff built up, walls built up. I mean, where in America did we learn that? I don't see that. So all these wagon trains are like is that a wagon inside there? It says there's a wagon here. That's a wagon. Well, covered wagons. Are they trying to imply covered wagons lived inside this part because they couldn't come in the main thing? And what is this? Is that a bridge? Or there's the wall gate right there. No, it's not adding up. It's not adding up. Well, it looks like something like that. What if it was... Okay, you're saying many are suggesting that star forts were power plants or batteries. And the question is was it a main node in... a ley line of some sort? What does his hat say? Riggs Fly Shop and Guide Service. Hey, maybe I should go there and buy some stuff. Alrighty, I gotta go. I'm gonna play some music, get out of here. Thank you, I am Kairos, for your recent... Oh, hey, Med, I didn't see you. What is this place? It is a star fort. Thank you for joining. Yep. I don't know who's still here. I have 6 watching. I have 5 thumbs up. Maybe I'm watching. But I gave myself a thumb up too, so don't be shy. You can give me that thumbs up. This is my OBS. I can check the settings later, but I'm really happy about how it works. Oh, Kyoko Kitty Giddy, thank you for hanging out. And I'm sorry I didn't answer your question. You said, you asked a question. You said it looks like, oh, you had made a statement. It looks like an old city. Not now. I can't remember where you were talking about. I'm sorry. There it is, right there. But I do thank you for lasting this long. It's like, what a morning, eh? So there we go. It's all over. I like this music. Let's play this one more time on our way out. I like this one. Is that playing? Oh, I don't have my speaker always dies on me. You can hear it. I can't. Yeah, my speaker automatically turns off. I mean, come on. Let's get real here. Volume. I hope it's not too loud for you. Wow, your dad was at Fort Ord. I can't believe that. Let's chat offline about that. Thank you. Yeah, it's nice to have good internet. This is kind of dubstep, right? Who knows who that guy is? George Howard, Younger Dryas. You know who he is. You know who he is. There's me fat. There's me skinny. Have a good one. Whoops, don't look at those. Why are those popping up there? I'm angry. What the heck? There we go. That's what I wanted. What? No, see? It can't even do it the way I want to do it. It's like, why would it suddenly decide to change? There we go. Let's try that again. Thank you. Have a good day.